Alright, welcome back everyone. I am, trying to sneak in a stream here before, the wife gets back. Hopefully we can finish on time. Something I'm recovering from COVID, hence my voice. I didn't realize that as of my last stream, but I tested right after and I was positive on the previous stream. But I'm feeling a lot better for those curious. Thank you for your concern though. Um, this list is very experimental. I just threw it together right now. I had an idea last night while I was, daydreaming, sick dreaming, whatever you want to call it. Delusions of grandeur. That pick your poison can maybe consolidate sideboard slots. So I could do one of my favorite things in Legacy, or just in Magic in general, where you have a lot of these cards with similar value or impact, different matchups, and then you just play all one-ofs and just like impossible for others to play around. Obviously, cards like Thoughtseize and Snuff Out are just too good not to play. Their replacement over their value over replacement is just significantly higher than any of these other options. However, uh, I don't. I think the value of my return might be a little narrow, but like some of these other cards are, close in value. I would say, in theory at least, and then just impossible for your opponent to play around. Right, Leyline of Sanctity, one of Force of Vigor, one of. So the slot I was able to consolidate is the Invigorate slot alongside the Disenchant slot, right? My colors are. Hey, Adriana, congratulations on your really strong showing as of late. I mean, obviously you're a strong player, but I saw your top eight in the I think the qualifier. As for the coloring, I am not sure. My guess is, I know you haven't watched me in a while. My guess is probably I'm sitting at a different spot than I used to when you used to watch, and maybe that's affecting the coloring. Let me see if I can turn on the lights just to fix this. One sec. So I just turned on the chandelier light. I think that seems to help. Yeah, I think. Okay, Okay, let me try to change that. Uh, Display settings, I think it is. Actually, let me close this first before I like reveal all my settings. All right, I think. Excuse me. I think I figured it out. Let me know if it should look better now. I think. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So I still have a lingering cough, but all things considered, a lot doing a lot better than I was like 2 days ago, which I was doing quite awfully actually. But now I think it's just a cough, and hopefully I can test positive by tomorrow. I just tested negative, otherwise I would have gone out to eat dinner with my wife and my mother-in-law. So, so, unfortunately, unable to join them for dinner, but fortunate for you guys and gals, the stream is live because of it. Mulligan. So that is, ooh. I think we have to mulligan this because this is almost like a mode 5 anyways. All with all those lands. Keep, and then we put the shepherd back, and then we put back a dork, and then we just hope this 5 is good enough. think we're playing against this Belcher deck. And the reason why I think that is because I paired into somebody who played this the other day, and I lost, of course. I think the matchup is very difficult. They're typically going off on turn 2 on the play, and I don't think we can stop that. Alright, so they are on oops, never mind. The version I played with this land, for what it's worth, was not on this at all. I mean, they could have. I thought they could pivot to it, sideboard, because they had Belcher game 1. But they didn't have that. Actually, what am I doing? Do they have pack negation? I have an endurance, I just realized. I can just stop this right now. Let's just do that before I screw up some more. So I gave them an extra Narcomoeba. I don't think that will matter too much, hopefully. Let's look at what our opponent has for what it's worth. I see an Entomb, which scares me. Like, what is going on? There's like some shenanigans post-board probably. But I don't think I need to worry about that at the moment. We saw the Thausic Oracle and we saw the Dread Return. Sure. I don't think we're losing to their fair plan for what it's worth. Actually, maybe we are. I don't know. That Narcomoeba's being extra power is kind of not good. It's gonna be really sad if that's why we lose. I think we find a land here, Cradle or something. The Reclaimer being a turn earlier is pretty neat. We'll just pass, I guess, and then we'll take 6, go to 10. Still has 2 damage so far, so here it would do 6 again. I think we can well, I wanted to attack, but now I can't. This is like one of the worst possible draws we could have had. We can take 6, go to 4, and then still take another hit. Like that point of damage is like starting to really add up. I don't think we tap out here, just pass. it's a lot closer than it needs to be because of our screw up earlier. We definitely keep the mana up. Cancel. So we have 3 mana. We can get an endurance to block, but I don't think we care yet. Here I think we just ramp. Let's just pass. Something I realized though is if I want to hold a reclaimer, I'm gonna have to pitch one of the creatures because of the mistake. It may not matter. So what I mean by that is like I'm short 1 mana to I can't just block our Arbor and pitch it. So I'm just gonna do that. There's no reason to tap out here. I think I have lethal here, but let's see. I don't think I care. Sure. A land is lethal. If we don't, then we're gonna have to spin the wheel with Atraxa because we can't. But then we need a block next turn. I think they try to bait us into going for it. Again, don't care. I just pass. So we have lethal, I believe. But let me just make sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pitch, everybody gets 5. So that's 10. Because a hoof it would be coming in. That's 10, 15, 18 damage. Yeah. I hope I didn't count wrong. That's 5, 15, 18 damage I count, and they have not enough. No. We need this untapped. Actually, yeah, I count 18. I hope I'm not wrong. Even had the margin of 2. That was closer than it needed to be because I was leaking the extra point of damage from the Narcomoeba. Otherwise, we safely get there. I had to chump block and lose a mana because of, and an attacker because of that, but it didn't matter. Or we didn't get punished at least. All right, Mind Brick Trap seems reasonable. Chalice, I think to shut off their fast mana. This is the type of deck that could play Leyline of Sanctity, so I think we want that. Uh, we saw their hand. What did they reveal? Do they have discard? They had an entomb package, so like something's going on there. I see grief in multiples, so I think I do want the Ley Line of Sanctity. We're just gonna treat this like oops all spells. If they like pivot, we can adjust game 3. We'll just board out the natural order package. Like, we're playing control here. I don't think Shepherd does anything against them. We have 2 extra cards. Like, do we want Hoof to potentially go over the top? What are the odds that we need to do that? I feel like probably not. We're gonna dare them to try to beat us fair. Echoing Deeps for a second bog is probably useful. We have one too many cards. I guess that's a luxury. Let's take out 1 Hierarch. I can see them pivoting to some other weird plan, but I don't know how feasible that is with main deck Entombs. Usually you don't see somebody playing these all-in combos take a while. Maybe they're using the restroom or something. I think we have the ship on draw. It's like weird, right? You get this like psychology thing where would our opponent think we would keep do nothing turn 1 hand? Nope. So the previous hand was like all in. We have to hit endurance, right? Off the Once Upon a Time. This is not getting there either. This probably will. Keep. I think we want the Ley Line of Sanctity. The Chalice probably not here. And then probably not that. If they board into Belcher, Ley Line of Sanctity helps too. If they happen to board into Belcher, which they're running that weird mana base, is possible. I put back the We'll know right now they have a pack. Doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna once in response. We can get another endurance, which is pretty good. All right, we're pretty ahead at least. Did they board and disc? They kept. Did they keep their griefs in? That's important for game three if it goes to that 1, 2, 3. It looks like they did. They probably have grief in their opening hand. Okay. Uh, I think here we play the Reclaimer because if our next draw is a land, then Reclaimer is active. If it's not a land, outside of a Thoughtseize, and I guess some of these other cards, it turns on Endurance. Maybe it was greedy not to do that there. I feel like they can't really kill us with 2 cards. That's not what I want to see. Actually, it's not the end of the world because of the Echoing Deeps. We just have to attack here. For sure, Lawrence. How's it going? Yeah, I was gonna say if we untap here, the game's over now. Now it's over. All right, just pass. I mentioned earlier I am recovering from COVID, still positive, but like doing a lot better than I was like a couple days ago. Yeah, I agree. Like any green pitch. So like the card I don't really want to draw there is like Mind Retrap's probably not particularly great. Like they can play around it. Um, Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I DM'd you actually like a while ago because you're saying I think you wanted to discuss the deck, but then I think you were either busy or something else at the time, Lawrence. All right. Oh, okay. That's fair. Uh, I think here we just like start to generate a board state where we win the game. And I think that how we do that is just like by ramping, right? Obviously, like they would have to have removal into like pack a negation or something, some nonsense like that to beat our hand right now. We're like pretty far ahead. Yeah, I think I try not to lose games that I feel are won already. Like I try to like not be too sloppy, but I feel like there's just so much room for margin here. You just like click buttons at random almost and win. Yeah, and even here, I think you can get like pretty sloppy and probably still win. It's just a habit I try to develop. So I know I've lost games because that probably should have won in my mind at least, where I got a little bit either overconfident or just sloppy. I guess they're related, right? All right. I think here. I think we want a basic because we're gonna keep the reclaimer up anyways, so we can fetch it away. I think so. I think that is a line. Ha- Like we got the thing about Hydra is like really good against these graveyard based decks because you could just it's really good against these graveyard based decks because you can just keep holding up Reclaimer and every turn that they pass, it's almost like holding up Stoneforge Mystic, right? You can every turn that they allow Stoneforge, if they allow Stoneforge to untap, then you just get incremental value. I think here just get the Hydra and just like start going to town now. Random green creatures or green card would be pretty good. That's not what I want to draw, unfortunately. One thing I could do is just like endurance myself and put the bog back into the deck. That's like a line, I guess. A little bit awkward for sure. Uh, I think the I think the line here actually is I play the endurance for mana, and then no. I play the endurance. Sorry, the Echoing Beast for. I pitched the Echoing Beast, put both back in. So okay, let's see. I can make it a 3/3. I don't think I want that. Alright, I'm just gonna bash Wood Reclaimer and go. Agreed. I don't want the greed. I want all my attacks to be advantageous here. I don't want the greed trading with Lair. So I think the line here is like I'm gonna pitch the Echoing Deeps, endurance myself, put both lands back into the graveyard, and then I have lethal next turn. Do I care? Yeah. I guess I do it because I was gonna do it anyways. I don't want to give him a threat. Uh, and the question here is, I want to keep the Reclaimer up, presumably. So I'm gonna fizzle their thing. I think it's greedy here to not hold a bog. I think I'm just deck thin in case it matters. It does actually if I draw fetch here. That's not bad either. It's not lethal, but it will be next turn. I think the line is pretty straightforward though. I'm just gonna bash with the endurance. I have lethal next turn. There's no reason to get greedy here. I boarded out the hoof, which is notable, but I think I have lethal through the grief. We'll see. Yeah. As long as I don't get sloppy, they're like locked. All right, see you, Lawrence. Good chatting. All right, let's go to second game. We didn't have the noble hierarchs or the ignobles there, but our clock would have been significantly faster with them on board, which is why I really like the boarding out of the natural order package against these graveyard decks, because your clock is plenty fast already with the lair. With the lair, we play it very defensively there, just so we don't accidentally lose a game for no reason. In general, I tend to do that. I won't go for lethal unless I can kill through multiple things, because I just feel like if I'm ahead, I'm gonna force my opponent to try to not get lucky, if that makes sense, right? All right, we're playing Kentaro. They're probably on some kind of Delver deck. Um, this is a mode of 6 already. The arbor's not great. 4 lands, so might as well mull. This is a lot better. Keep. I feel pretty good about this matchup, but I guess we'll find out, right? Like, obviously, they're one of the better Delver players, so we'll see. We can gauge how our deck does in this matchup. And we can also see the pick your poison, see how it does in this matchup instead of the invigorates. We're down to one invigorate just as a gotcha still, but uh, it was it's not that bad per se. I just want to see if I can consolidate sideboard slots. I think I'm just gonna vomit my hand here. What are they going to do? Oh, they're gonna let it live. Interesting. All right. We want the Reclaimer to live through days. All right, they forced that now. That tells me they probably have a removal spell in hand, or they're hoping to cantrip into one, because the logic is they don't want to have to waste their days and force their but they have to with the second one, right? That the only reason why they would counter the second one is because they either already have the removal spell or are planning to dig for it to answer the first Reclaimer here. That's the only thing that would make sense. Because not why not answer the first? Okay, there's the removal spell we talked about. So I think they didn't really they were debating whether to do it, and then now they're forced into it, right? I think we have a land drop and we endurance for if we get endurance and it resolves, it's probably game over. There's the land drop. That's as a must force. I think the game is already over. I don't think they can beat endurance. Maybe that's just my over confidence in this matchup, but they have a hard time beating endurance. You were essentially a combo deck against these Delver decks. We're A plus B, right? A is endurance, B is endurance. You just stick to endurances, they probably can't win. Ooh, they have a second one. Wow, okay. That is pretty neat. They, ooh, did they top deck that? Because why would you force it? Unless they want to keep the tempo, right? They have no clock here. That's an easy decision. That is an easy decision. I saw this pilot in the one of the Discord tempo discords. I think it was like Delver Shadow or something, complaining like, "Oh, our deck doesn't beat any deck except Delver." Like they're mad that this is like a spam endurance deck or something. It just made me laugh, you know. Or I think the exact phrasing was an endurance spam deck, which I guess they're not technically wrong. I think they're digging for force. I don't think they can allow their endurance to survive here. Sure. So I think the worst nightmare here is I think the worst nightmare would have been fetched into Murktide. That would have been bad for us. Um, they brainstormed. Did they put the volcanic island? Okay. I think we want the attack, so we're gonna main phase this. Okay, they have the force. Our clock is funny enough faster than theirs. What do they pitch? Delver. Oh, that's a problem. A land here wins the game. A non-land may still win the game. All right, the game's over. That's probably lights out. I don't think they can beat this now. They're like too far behind. And our top decks are way better than theirs now. Okay. I call that the desperation cantrips, right? Like where they know they're in a lot of trouble and need a Hail Mary. Some point, that is another bomb. Uh, there's no need. This, I guess, that's interesting. It would feel bad, but if I were them, I would be debated. I would debate maybe trying to like trade with the endurance. Maybe if they feel like they're too far behind it, the artisan is just gonna kill them now. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. Sorry, 3, 7 mana. So any land gets an attraction. That's really the nail in the coffin. So they have to attack with their DRCs now, which will block, of course. Now, if they kill our endurance, or we can't get an attraction next turn, we'll just get another endurance. Okay. So we were short. This might just be the nail in the coffin. We were short one for there's no reason to attack. Like I think they're desperate now, right? They have to just put us to zero, and we just have to play defense. We have lethal next turn, anyways. Just, I guess we are the spam endurance deck, right? All right. Put that in. One of invigorate in this list, and the 4 snuff outs. Hey, Joff, how's it going? You missed a really cool game 1 here where we just like spam endurances. I know, right? It was pretty neat. We gotta, do the thing. I, as crazy as that sounds, maybe it's just the nature of the leagues. That was actually the first time I got a copy of Cradle, and it's been like 3 leagues. Yeah, that was the first time I got a copy of Cradle through 3 leagues. Granted, I played against nothing but combo, so I got a copy of Bog multiple times, but that's a whole different animal, right? I think we just keep this. Something about Snuff Out that's made me a little weary was I did play against this player who boarded in Price of Progress against me and stole some games. I played them against them twice, and that makes me wonder. Maybe we should just keep the natural order package in. But again, I don't know if that was just unlucky on my behalf or it's just like, I wouldn't think my opponent should be doing that. But something to keep in mind in case we ever like keep the natural order package in against Delver over the Snuff Outs. If I get popped too many times, maybe that's like a thing to consider. It dealt me like 8 for what it's worth, and I was already kind of low. This scares me a little bit. I hope my opponent is not on Stifle. I think I have no choice here. If they bolt it, I don't think I mind. It's a little bit weird that I love this. I love this a lot, actually. My opponent turn 1 do nothing into Brainstorm. Probably turn 2 Bowmasters, but like they fall behind on mana then for 2 1/1s that I don't care about. That would be my guess. Like they must have a turn 2 Bowmasters. Ooh, or not. Interesting. Interesting. So they saw. Actually, I don't remember when they. I think they should have done an upkeep, so they get 2 chances at the Delver flip. I think we do that. We fetch first. We do that. Play the Reclaimer. They force. Interesting. I'm gonna lead with mana. They can waste, but I don't want to waste mana if that makes sense. And if they waste it. There is an off chance they can Murktide here. Sure. But I think if they do that, that's okay with me. We take 2, that's not gonna matter. I'm gonna Endurance here, that's a must force. They already forced the Reclaimer, like... It's probably important to do that. Okay, let me see. I think, do we lead with the endurance or do we lead with the reclaimer? I think we lead with the reclaimer. Ah, too good. Too good. Must be miserable for Delver players. Uh, the first game was closer than the second. The second game was, I think, their mistake, and maybe I don't know how their sideboard plan is. You cannot really just do nothing on turn one against our deck. Like, I think you either have to have Bolt or turn one play, and like maybe you have a slower Murktide hand. I think that's like a reasonable line. Ideally, you have turn one threat if you're on the play, and then you have like backed by disruption. I don't think you could just do nothing and allow us to develop our board. I think they just, the only way we lose those games, I think, is where you don't do anything on turn one and maybe don't even have a Murktide plan. Is if we somehow flood out and just don't draw any relevant payoffs. But that's like the minority of the situation. But yeah, feels pretty good. I think we got like, I don't think we got to see. I don't think we got to see the pick your poison in action, but I don't hate it. Like, it's a nice answer to their really fast hands, which include Delver, turn one Delver Secrets backed by permission. And in some ways, maybe that's better than the Invigorates. Because the Invigorates, they don't get answered. Unfortunately, they don't. They're not. If our opponent has stuff like Submerge, then it's not as good. Or if their plan is just to force everything. Like turn one Delver, force your turn one play into Delver or something like that. Sorry, turn one DRC, turn two Delver DRC, force whatever you do turn one. Like, Invigorate not as good there. Reasonable, I guess. I don't know what my opponent's on. It says Demir Delver is their last registered, but we know not to trust that based on our first round, right? Ponder turn one, maybe? Yep. We have 3 lands, which incentivizes fetching first. Baubles indicates to me they were probably on Rug Delver. I don't think Beanstalk plays Bauble, but I could be wrong. Alright, now we really want to fetch first at thin. Noble. Well, it should be red here, yeah. Sure. I think the ideal draw here is a Shepherd because I want to slam Endurance protected here. If that happens, the game is probably already over. It's a little bit dangerous here. Right on cue, right? I was just gonna say it's a little bit dangerous there to. Do I just ramp here? I think so. You just have a million mana, right? We're just gonna main phase this. Don't give them a chance. I think the game is already over. Like, good luck beating this. Turn 3 kill. Or turn 2 kill, sorry. Yeah, Shepherd is broken. I like the second copy to just naturally have a lot, just like really messes with how your opponent can play, right? Like they just either play around it, which is like suboptimal, or not play around it, we just happen to have it. One thing I could have done was actually one thing I could have done was actually just held the green sun to get to tutor for it again. So that was a probably mistake by my on my behalf, but I'm not sure it matters. For sure, yeah. I was just like going through the motions already, I guess. Just bash, I guess. We're probably still winning, but you know I'm making it harder on myself. The obvious line there was I hold it, I play it, they probably force it, and then you can cast natural order again. I'm just like playing with my food, I guess. I mean, we're just playing for the vibes, right? Obviously, I think if I'm by myself there, I don't play as greedily there. Hopefully, we don't get punished, but don't know. Yeah. So again, game's already over. I play optimally there. You just hold the green sun, force the natural order through, and then they're dead to an Atraxa, right? So they have another force. Then we could, get really punished, right, for our greed line. Oh my god. I think we're gonna get punished here. I think we are gonna get punished. This should have been an easy win, but maybe that's better content, right? All right. Well, deck thin. They have 4 cards in hand. I think we probably got punished. I think it's force and something else there. They have a bolt up, which is interesting. All right. Got punished. It is what it is. Didn't respect my opponent. Let's see if we can come back here and make up for it. Gotta take it more seriously, I guess. Sure, we're dead. Yeah, actually, maybe that should be the goal. Like, just how much can we like punt and still win? All right. Let's do this. There's an argument to be made. Oops, what did I just accidentally put in? That we should keep one of the big targets in. But yeah, I think maybe that we should do that at every stream now. Just like how much can we misplay and still win? Like just tease our opponent, so to speak, right? Because I think we win there easily, obviously, if we just like leave the if we leave the Green Sun for the Shepherd and then just get a track. So I don't think they're beating that. That's true. I didn't even think of it that way, but like I recall like watching Dragon Ball Z back then, right? Like Goku obviously like loses originally, initially, and then he either turns Super Saiyan or like, takes the Sensu Bean to recharge. Also, it gives you a good idea of how much margin you have to. So I think if you can win with mistakes, then you actually know the deck's power. The matchup is better than it's closer to ideal, right? Right, I remember that. There's all right. This is like reasonable, I guess. We have to like walk into Wasteland here, but I don't think they're gonna like turn one Wasteland us. That like doesn't make any sense either. All right, no more margin now. We got a little zealous there, right? Sure. We have a vigor backup. That's why I did this play. If I sequence correctly there, I should have actually labeled this stuff out. They have to have bolt into daze slash force. If they don't, it's probably over. Like, I'm not gonna try to beat three things, right? Like, sure. Shuffle is a good sign. Might be over. They bolt. It's a must daze here. Nope. All right, that's over then. GG's. Even that to boot. I think we just get a Gris, right? Like, they can have their Murktide region. I don't think I care. Now, a line that actually is very interesting is we can snuff out our own dork here if they target the artisan. Like if they find another bolt, right? Like we can target our own dork here, and that is just salt in the wound. So, sure. They need a waste here. Sure. Times like this where the first Bowmasters is like pretty neat. That's like whatever. What's gonna happen here? Do we snuff out the Delver here? If we do, then we know the Grist's not under attack. What to do? What to do? It's funny, we have more free spells than they do. Uh, Good question. Let me see. Oh, it's like a oops all spells type of deck. I think we plus here. We bash. Question here is what are we getting? I think we kill the shepherd here and put it out of bolt range. Actually, the line there might have been to get another high arc. So a little sloppy by me. Doesn't really change much, I don't think. What what to do here. I think we just plus again. I think we bash. They want to trade, they can. It's time for the endurance spam. Yeah, they're not beating that. All right, maybe we can get it back now, right? We're on the draw because we got, you know, a little bit overzealous in game one. I think we still should be pretty favorable, but we'll see. We don't have the margin that we originally do. Joff here in the chat called it, right? Like, they don't have the answer for the Invigorate's probably just over. And it was. Obviously, in a big event or event you care about, don't be as sloppy as I was. I think that is somewhat obvious, right? I think here we get the endurance. The reason why we're getting endurance here is we're probably going to have at least 4 mana turn 3 no matter what. Now, there is an off chance, depending what they do here, that they can Murktide us turn 3, but I think that's unlikely. I don't think there's any reason to run endurance in days here. They can bolt our dork here. Sure. We're gonna dodge a fetch into Murktide. I think is the line we don't want to see here. We can still win, but it gets a lot harder. They're tanking, which means they may not have it. Depending what they do here, there's a chance we can just vomit our hand the next turn. Sure. Alright, what can we do here? We can play Reclaimer. That's free. We can go endurance too. So if the problem is if I lead with the Hierarch here, we have 6 mana, one of which has to run into Daze. I think the better line here is to main phase the well, actually, yeah, the main phase the endurance here. They rather have 3 blue cards here. Okay. I think I just do it now. So we know Bolt and Mystery card here. They'll probably trade with Bolt, get the 3 damage in, we go to 10. But our top decks are very live. We are under the gun a little bit. Ooh, okay, I did not want to see that. That is pretty bad for us. That's actually not bad. We gotta kill that right now. We know the card in hand. So it depends if they want to trade or not. Ooh, okay. I think that might change things. They could top deck a second Bolt. No, we don't have a hoof, unfortunately. They could top deck a second Bolt, which is what we would lose to. Let me think. We definitely bash first. The question here is like, do we kill the DRC or do we just? I think we just get another endurance. That Vapor Snack putting us to 6 is awkward. All right, they're digging for it. This is very awkward. I hate schools. I don't like. I don't want to spend mana. It's just really awkward because they had the snag. They don't have it because they would have snapped, kept already. And to play around Borrower. I actually think the line might have been to so they can't dig, is to kill the DRC. So they can't dig. Do they have Sanctuary these lists? That one I don't remember. Let me check. Like, what is the correct? Am I supposed to just like hold Reclaimer here? I don't know. These lists typically have Sanctuary. I feel like maybe they don't. Well, we're gonna YOLO it, regardless. We'll get the lair. Put them on one turn. Triple. It's lethal here, actually. So I have to attack with the lair. They have to block here. Alright, we just gotta pray now. Yeah, me same here. Oh my god. They have the block regardless. I think we're getting an Arbor here. We have lethal on board. We're gonna win in style. All right, we punted and then we didn't. Deck bailed us out. There's the margin we talked about. Don't be like me. Be better than me. All right, that was a heart stopper for sure. My opponent played very well. Kudos to them. Uh, I almost got punished for my negligence, essentially in game one. We'll take a quick break. I'm gonna use the restroom. So the good and bad thing of that, very thrilling win is the good thing is we got more Delver, sample size here for our audience to check out. The bad thing though is I probably have a hard stop close to 7 o'clock here. It's 6:36 because that's roughly the ETA when my wife will be back. So even in the off chance that we win this game, match four, uh, I suspect it's not going to be enough time, but we'll see. Maybe we'll play against two reanimator players, and then that'll be enough, right? Because the games will be quicker. Ooh, that's like never. Well, I technically speaking, you want to talk about technicality here? We lost the game, won the match, so it was a punt. Oof, what the heck is going on? Hmm. I don't love it to be honest, but like maybe we have to keep. I don't. Oh my god, this is pretty bad. Let's just put that away, I guess. I think this hand's pretty bad, but they're not getting. Oh my god, that's not really the matchup too. The good thing is this matchup in general is like good. I suspect though that we're not favored at this moment to win this game, especially given their start. Mm. We're kind of all in on a natural order. It's not a bad place to be, but we're oh my god, we're floating out pretty badly though. We're probably losing though if they have force, and they haven't done anything, which tells me they probably do have force. Sigh. I don't think we can't not jam here though, but what can you do? So that's kind of interesting. 2, 3, like we can play this draw the force, which it feels like they have. Um, I actually don't hate that. We're gonna try to save damage if possible. Yeah, I think it's correct too because Artisan can get Shepherd, right? Like it definitely feels like they have force. Like we haven't played any relevant spells. Yeah, exactly. And we can absorb like one attack from this. Like we're not under super pressure to just jam right now, so might as well be patient. I don't want to throw away games too much, right? Like the question here is why don't you let it resolve? They probably needle the Artisan if anything. Or they should at least. The other thing this does is ooh, okay. That's good, I think, for us. The other thing this does is it would have potentially allows me to block the patchwork with a reclaimer. And I dare them to not name Artisan with Needle. Maybe they don't see it. Let's see if I'm missing something here. It's cast, right? I think they missed it. I think here we're getting an Arbor. Lair tends to not be good against constructs because or in any against any deck that clogs up the board. What are they holding in their hand though? What? That's the part that I have not been able to figure out. Okay, interesting. In the off chance they have force, but I don't think they do. Never counts, always lethal, right? Yeah, I'm a little nervous that this is like some kind of like half combo, like half mid range build, and we just didn't see the combo side because I can't figure out what's going on. Why do they still have 3 cards in hand unless they flooded? What is going on here? What do they have? What do they have? I don't think this is like. Like, what the heck has Vault of Whispers in their deck? That I can't figure out. Chalice, I think here is in theory supposed to be good, but I don't know. Like they didn't play any artifacts. Invigorate should be good. I think what like they may or may not have like Dismember. I think you want the answer for the Saga. The disenchant part for the artifact is probably bad. I don't think we want Bog. I don't think we want Echoing Deeps. I don't know what has Vault of Whispers. Alright, we gotta still board out some creatures here. Maybe they had blue cards and we just didn't see them. It's just like a one Vault of Whispers or something. I don't know. I don't feel like this is an endurance matchup. Maybe a trap is like not the worst in case they like vomit their hand, like turn one. Alright, let's try it. I don't know what they're on, but we'll see. We didn't see much. This is pretty good. Again with a Vault of Whispers. Interesting. Okay, I feel very silly now for doing it that way. Maybe I should have thought about that. Although I'm not playing around that card, to be honest, too, for what it's worth. Wasteland. Interesting. On the bright... Oh, okay. They just want to grow it. That's fine. Oof. One too late. We'll take 3. I don't think that's gonna matter. This Chalice is obscene right now against our opponent. Each opponent sacrifices a non-creature token. Okay. It's some brew. I don't know what I'm supposed to be playing around. I think the only thing that we noticed was that's pretty good actually. I think we just lock their deck right now while we can. Well, they're like, it's like weird because they're like half locked already. It's important to see we have a Grist in our deck. We do. That's going to be relevant. So, do we get a Collector Oof here or not is the question. Like, they're soft locked by the Chalice. If I were to guess, probably not. Hey, Rentavis. How's it going? Sure. Sure. Thoughts on the elf build with 4 Sheps? Which one are you referring to, Joff? I think here we cut their mana so they can't make constructs. Hmm. Do we deck thin here? I think we probably do. We're not gonna trade with their automaton anyways, so. Alright. Can we make it? It's 6:50. Sitting at 4-0. Wife isn't home yet. Oh, oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. The one with the artisan and the like a sub elf theme. Um, Good question. I think the elf theme is nice. I can see a few scenarios where it's like better than maybe the arch build. I think let's try to finish it. We have 10 minutes. Let's go to our deck. And where it comes up is, I think if your meta game is like combo heavy, the Shepherd activation I can see mattering in against combo in the combo mirror, so to speak, right? Obviously, it would require a few other things. Namely, Plague Engineer would have to be like played in very low numbers. I think Opposition Agent will probably need has to not be the mono black deck has to not be played as well. And the argument and the reasoning for that is because Shepherd is not a card you really want to keep in that matchup anyways, and Hierarch is one of the ways to beat Opposition Agent. So I think if you can avoid Agent and Mad Hatter, I think if you can avoid Agent and if you can avoid Plague Engineer, there's like some merits for it. I think it's overall a little bit more vulnerable to hate, but there's like certain things, certain strengths it has. Namely, the Shepherd Pump is pretty neat. Uh, they're double queuing. All right. I think here we take the Shepherd because we have the Natural Order in hand. We already have a Dork, and I don't think the second Reclaimer really does anything. And they want to force this, like, be my guess. Uh-oh. Could be Reanimator. If they're double queuing. Maybe I should have thought about that. If they're double queuing, maybe they're playing something quick. We just kept a generic hand for what's worth. Or Storm, maybe? 2 Dark Rituals? Shieldred, okay. That one I'm less scared about. We're not gonna, in the off chance they have Wasteland, I'm not gonna expose the Cradle. I'm gonna try to bait them to, I'm gonna try to bait them to try to Wasteland my Bayou. If they have it, like we don't know. Ugh, I didn't want to see that. Nothing we could have done though. It's not like we could have played it. There's the ways. Sure. That is what Garfield intended. We're gonna be at 10. Sorry. We cannot leave the cradle. So we're at a virtual 1 here. And we have right now 8 mana. Block shield using the Shep. They would presumably pump. Well, if they wasteland this, then that's a problem, right? It'll buy us 1 turn. I guess that's. I'm trying to debate whether to run out the cradle, and I think the answer is probably yes. Ooh, they should have wasted us there. Now they can't attack. Uh huh. My opponent had a small mistake that may cost them now. They can't attack now, is the problem. If our opponent knew what was up, though, the issue that we would have, and that was a problem with maybe getting the Bayou. Interesting. Hey, Adriano, how's it going? We have to activate first, and then they're gonna waste us. I think that's probably okay. Get the Shieldred off the board. Yeah. We Technically can block the grief too. Yeah, let's do that actually. I don't think I mind trading and just like taking them off the clock. And then tick down, kill the Voidwalker. Sure. I think in this low attrition battle now, we're in a good spot. This one, if we do win, has an asterisk. I think our opponent had a small misplay. Think we get this off the board now. Let me see. They bash us for 3. How close are we to Atraxa or Hoof? We put the fetch. That's 4 creatures. So 4. Yeah, I agree. I think we just get unlock our mana here. I think this is probably relevant. We take the 3, go to 7, and then we see what they do. Sure. We want the extra mana with the. Is the long story short. So now we have exactly 6 mana, and if we draw a land, then we have an Atraxa. Land, natural order are both good here. That counts. I think we bash here. 5, 6, 7. Actually, there's a line here that we potentially could win, so maybe we'll just go for that first. No, we're 1 short Hoof. So we could potentially draw into natural order plus cradle. There is no natural order, nor is there a cradle. They have menace. I'm trying to think. What is the scenario here where we lose? Yeah, okay. You are right, Miss Starks. Sorry, Extremis Starks. You are correct. I did play the land already, so it doesn't really matter what I get here. I'm just essentially hoping they don't have some kind of weird burn spell. I think they were just dead on board, to be honest. All right, one more, and we, would have completed the 5-0. I think against this match, I forgot how I'm supposed to board here. Are we supposed to just do it by vibes? Uh, I think we want Thoughtseizes, Leyline of Sanctity. I don't think the Invigorate is good. The Karakas, like maybe there's another land. It answers Shieldred conveniently. Shepherds are bad. Natural Order is like a little bit dangerous in this matchup. I don't. I'm a little bit nervous to keep it in because of their opposition agents, but maybe I have no choice. All of this other stuff seems reasonable. I think maybe not Caracas. Actually, not the oof. That's for sure. I like the one hoof to go over the top if need be. And I think actually there's a pick your poison, so that's not great. Maybe one natural order. This one matchup that's hurt. Ugh. It does have Thoughtseize, and we maybe just need to take their opposition agent. I don't think there's anything else that's like particularly great against to the board in here. Sure. I think it probably has some Brewers advantage, but I also think the scam package can win games. So our hand just got completely neutered. The Helm build, the problem is probably easy to hate out. Whereas this deck is more consistent. Sure. Oh my goodness. I don't love our post-board configuration against them for what it's worth. And maybe we're supposed to keep the natural order package. Sure. The way this game is playing out, at least, endurance doesn't look particularly great, and it's highly possible we're supposed to just try to go over the top with natural order. And if we lose the agent, we lose the agent. Based on at least how our opponents this game has played out. And without invigorate to like snipe agents, we might have no choice, or at least down to one invigorate. It would be nice to get this list posted though, because then if somebody Googles me, it's like, what are you gonna play around? It's all one of those. Hey, how's it going, Fausto? That is a problem. Uh, it's it's hard for. I know they're the favorites. In Vegas, it's hard for me to pick against Patrick Mahomes. He's almost like the new age slash new generation's Tom Brady, right? I mean, obviously different player, but in terms of like we're talking about GOAT status and whatnot. Who do I care to win? I don't think I really care too much either way. Like I don't. I'm not like leaning towards any particular team. Okay. All right, we're just dead here. I'm just gonna concede. My wife is on her way home, so we're just gonna barely beat this, I think, potentially. Feels like we need natural order based on that game. If we lose, we lose, but it sort of kind of felt like we needed natural order. No Caracas here. All right, can we beat? Can we get this buzzer beater in? Get this 5-0 before everyone. I need to log off. Unfortunately, we never drew it, and we played Delver twice. In theory, I like it though. It allows me to play a lot more nonsense in my sideboard, and a Chalice of the Void won a game against Artifacts earlier. Oh, my wife is home. Keep. I think we have to go turn one Bayou here. Actually, I think turn one Rain for Misty in case they like turn one Opposition Agent or something like that. I will be right back. Looks like my opponent. I need to help my wife. Okay, turn 1 Bayou. Thoughtseize my opponent. Take their agent. They have a Bowmasters and a push.
Oh my god, this is so dangerous.
I don't think I want the. I don't think I care about the push. They can Thoughtseize me all they want. They probably take a. I don't know. Hopefully we can get the trophy. We're Diego. We're at 4-0 right now, and I have to try to multitask for a little bit. They have one unknown. And we know they have a Bowmaster, so presumably. So a question here is like, do we run out the Hierarch? Probably. Because we haven't. The fetch can get the high. Excuse me. The fetch can get the Arbor anyways. We're just assuming this is gonna connect right now. Uh-oh. What is going on here? Oh, they're gonna kill the Reclaimer with 2 Bowmasters? I think I take that any day of the week. Interesting. Again, asterisk. Again, if this is what happens. I don't think that's the correct play, but maybe they're afraid this game's gonna go long, and they can't get through the Reclaimer. Now I'm really happy I played the Hierarch. Natural order here. Let's end the game. Let's end the game. Natural order from the top rope. So my opponent is double queuing, so that's why they have their pauses here. Say hi to the stream. Mm. Thank you, Andrew. How's it going? I need my. Okay, that's pretty good actually. I want to get a grist. The problem is the grist like dies right now to that. I'll just. I can get an artisan, but maybe that's the answer. We're gonna play around hand disruption here. Yeah, that was the other line. Endurance and Garrus. But I don't want to lose the top deck here. Thoughts discard or Thoughtseize. All right, this is probably the lock, but we'll see. I think so too. I'm hoping my opponent just concedes here, but maybe they seem if they're double kicking, they're probably competitive, so maybe not. All right, let's nuke their yard, and then. I think it's game, but my opponent's gonna play through it, so. He's getting sleepy. Let's get the concession, please, mister. And then we can log off. I feel like we're like an NBA team just trying to run out the clock, right? Like we're holding a 2-point lead or 4-point lead, and our opponent is like fouling us, and we need to make these free throws, and just waste the clock. Yeah, we're in garbage time here, and then they haven't waved the white flag yet. Oh, he's saying dad, dad. Those were his first words. It's just a value card. My wife is the real MVP here. She's letting me finish here, even though I'm way over time. All right, they conceded. Nice. We got the 5-0. And really, let's take a look. Yeah, we got the 5-0. Only dropped 2 games. If we, didn't get overconfident, just like click buttons at random, we should have 2-0'd here really too. Only our 5th opponent really got a game off us. It's a tempo play. Like if your opponent Bowmasters or Lightning Bolts your creature, it's a counter spell, right, for 0 mana. It also counters a Fury potentially, which is relevant against the Tomb decks because you just want to counter 4 for natural order. Yeah, it was a pretty good league. I think we got a little bit of everything. Misplays by me here in this match 3, otherwise we win 2-0 here as well. Obviously a small misplay here in game 1 that probably cost our opponent. I think they were supposed to wasteland me when they got the chance. I think, let's take a quick look. We never drew the pick your poison, but I think in theory I like it against Delver as an upgrade because it hits Cage. Also, a removal spell at the end of the day is probably going to do more damage than Then Invigorate, which if your opponent doesn't have burn spells, then could be a problem, right? Or if they have like Fatal Push or something. I think going forward, I probably would want to split Pick Your Poison and Invigorate. I don't know if Invigorate should be the one with 2 copies or Pick Your Poison, but I think the idea at least is we save sideboard slots. The Chalice won a game. That's noteworthy. The Leyline of Sanctity, I believe, won a game against like whatever they were playing, Reanimator or something. Whatever. I think it was Reanimator earlier. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Reanimator. It was the Uthos spells deck. And then I think every Endurance like really shined. I think this league, right? Like we just spammed Endurance as we mentioned earlier, just to beat Delver. Just ran over them. There was a few times where I just called the game is over on turn 2 or turn 3, and that was really the case. All right. Anybody have any questions? I do have to sign off right now. Like I said, I am way over, but you know sometimes we get lucky. We got the 5-0. Here are my socials. Nice first 5-0 for the season. And I'm gonna go ahead and raid Tony. All right. Thank you everyone for hanging out tonight. This I will post this obviously on YouTube, and you can catch the replay there as well.